How you
I'm all
doing
right
this
with
week,
that.
brother?
Man, hey, look, I'm doing really good, Tony, but I ain't doing nearly as good as you, my man. 1 year post-op
Yes, sir.
surgery, down how many pounds?
175.
175, and you look fantastic.
What's up there, triplet dad? What's up, Jamie?
You're
How are you?
you're doing amazing, my brother.
Thank you, my friend.
What's up,
And
everybody?
don't forget that even after being a year out, you still need to take your vitamins. So I'm gonna take my calcium right now.
Calcium by who? From who?
Bariatric pal, and
Let
I
me see
have the
them again.
creamsicle.
Are those the orange ones, the creamsicles you're always ripping and raving
Yes, they
about?
are. I love these ones.
All right, I haven't tried
Brings
those
back
yet.
childhood memories right there.
I'll put them on my radar for sure. Does it really? I mean, seriously,
It does.
that's
But
awesome.
I like the flavors they have. They have a caramel apple that's really good. They have a chocolate mint that's really good.
Yeah, I'll have to try the
Welcome in
creamsicle.
everyone.
Welcome,
Remember to
everybody.
tap that screen and share the live.
Give us a thumbs up when you share the live with at least 5 people. Just five. 5 people would be awesome. Other than that, we welcome you all to today's episode that has everything to do with the support from your significant other when you're taking on this weight loss surgery or weight loss journey. Um, don't forget, before we get started, make sure you tune in every Sunday night to Talk Barry to Me with VSG Bestie. Talk Barry to Me. Yes, every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific every Sunday. Also, when you have a moment, we are recognizing Black History Month. Make sure that you check out the hashtag Blackberry Talk and support our African American content creators on the platform. That would be much appreciated. Thanks, Anna. How you doing this evening? Good to see you all. Good to have you. We have a couple of couples tonight. Two
Yes,
married couples. Yes. Who do we have, Tony?
we have a TikTok marriage made in heaven with Dano and Jillian, and we have
Hmm.
the Titanic TikTok couple from Megan and Thomas.
Megan and Thomas. Let's see if they're here to
Hey Juan,
join
how are
us.
you?
We're gonna bring up Jillian and Dano. It looks like they're here with us, and we are still
Thank you,
waiting to
Juliana.
see if we can get Thomas and Megan to join us. Look at this couple. Look at them, man.
Look at these guys, too good looking.
Jeez. All
How
right,
you
Hi,
and
guys
we
doing today?
good. Awesome.
so glad that you guys could come join us this evening.
Yes, I even have my red shades.
Oh,
You guys are
goddamn.
stylish.
It's too bad I can't see.
You
So you
can't
got my
see? Oh
message,
yeah,
right?
we
You
got
don't
your
have to
message. I
read
got your
because I can't
back.
see.
Yeah. Yeah, I got your back definitely.
You can't tell. I
Megan,
have a red drink in hand. But
Megan, how you doing tonight?
Doing good.
Good, good.
Hi,
You
how you
feeling
Megan.
feeling?
Hi. Doing
Megan,
okay.
Megan, do you know Dano and Jillian?
A little bit. I've seen them on here before, but
Okay.
I've never like personally done a live with them or anything.
You gonna
Uh,
know each other before the end of the night, that's for sure.
You guys are gonna know a whole lot about each other.
Yeah. Sorry.
sorry,
All right,
Dan's
I'm
gonna
calling
go
the
ahead
first
and do
water
the
check
puppy.
tonight.
Dano what?
He has to. He's running to go give the puppy some treats because he's being cray cray.
You gotta do what you
That's all
gotta
right.
do.
We have a new puppy, and it's like wow, having a baby again.
Oh yeah.
It's a
A
Yes
lot
it
of
lot of.
is.
responsibility.
Every 10 minutes, every 10 minutes. Megan, is Thomas with you this evening?
He is.
All right. All right. So I kind of want to give us the opportunity to kind of introduce yourselves to everyone in the comments, all the viewers, and each other. So if you can share what surgery you've had, or what your journey has been like thus far. Megan, we could start with you, and we'll get the show rolling.
All right. How much detail do you want?
Let's see.
We want all the deets.
What surgery did you get, Megan?
So I had the gastric bypass on December 27th of last year. So I'm going to be 7 weeks post-op tomorrow. And, yeah.
And where are you from?
And we're from Colorado. And
From here.
What's up, Thomas?
Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. I'm glad you're here.
I moved out to Colorado in 2008 when we were set up on a blind date. And we physically knew each other for 2 weeks before I moved across the country for you?
2 weeks.
Wow.
Hold on. What? You moved
Love
across
at first
the what?
sight?
Yeah.
She moved across the country.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't
You
know
are
that.
quite the catch there, Thomas.
Hey, come on.
Well, I mean, look at this face. I mean, come on.
That's true. That's true.
Everybody at his job used to call me his mail order bride because he literally was just talking on the phone with me for a week or two, and then all of a sudden I was living with him.
Boom. Make it happen.
Right. But.
And how long ago was that?
Right.
16 years ago.
16 years and still rolling.
Amazing. Still going.
That's awesome. So for all of you in the comments, Thomas and Megan, Thomas did not have the surgery. Megan did have the surgery. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bounce over to Jillian and Dano, who both had surgery. And if you all could share what surgery you had, what your journey's been like thus far, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I had gastric bypass. My heaviest was 350. I'm down to 180.
Wow.
I feel great. New person.
Do you feel awesome?
I do.
Those numbers sound really close to mine. And I was like, I'm only 9 months post-op, and my heaviest was 328. And I think I'm at around 203. I've stopped weighing myself because I feel wonderful and I don't want to lose any more weight. But when you said 180, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. How about you? Go ahead.
I was at 195 for the longest time.
Yeah.
And now I just went down.
Yeah, I feel like I've been at 203, 204, settling around here for 2 months now, 2-3 months easy. So
I was like that for at least 8 months.
Yeah.
Your body tells you, you catch up to yourself. You got to catch up to yourself. Your body's telling you don't lose too much weight. I mean, you lost all of it up front because you needed to lose that weight, and then it slows down.
Right.
So body does adjustments, and, it'll lose what it needs to lose before it freaks out and thinks that it's dying.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Jillian?
So I had VSG surgery. We both had ours done in March. Mine was 21 and his was 22.
Okay.
So yeah, I lost a good amount of weight, like 100 and maybe 10, 15 pounds, give or take. Weight wise, I was pretty high. Let's just say I stopped weighing myself once I saw 330. I was like, I'm all done. I'm not weighing myself again. And I'm 5'7". So now I weigh, I live in the 152 to 158 range. Somewhere in there. I mean, I'd like to get into the 140s, but honestly, I'm just feel so good. Just to take the puppy out for a walk for 40 minutes is awesome.
Heck yeah.
So, I mean, it's a huge difference. And everyone knows I'm on a GLP-1 as well because my body did stop. But that's just because of hormones and other reasons. Like I waited a good 8 months before I said, okay, this is a real situation. And it's to gain weight. And I was like, why is my body rebelling against me? I don't understand. I'm doing everything right. So I started on Mounjaro. So I'm down about 182 to 185, give or take, pounds total loss from 2021.
Amazing.
That is great. It's awesome. It's amazing.
Surgery, and that's it. Mommy makeover. I did it all.
Did you really?
I did in September.
Nice. Well, congratulations and good for you. And you're feeling just
Congratulations.
wonderful because you look magnificent. No, Dano, I'm not hitting on your wife. She looks great, though. You guys are awesome.
I know what I got.
Congratulations to all three of you because it was a big step, and it's a journey that isn't taken lightly. You have to be ready, prepared for this type of a journey, and you guys made that decision, and you guys are making the most out of out of using your tool.
Right.
Yeah. And then we say congratulations to all three of you, but it's really four, right?
Yeah.
Because Thomas, man,
You have quite the unique perspective, and I think I was very much like I was very for you being on here with Megan when we said that we were going to do a bariatric couple for Valentine's Day, because I've followed you guys since before Megan had the surgery, and the support that you have given her and shown her has been absolutely amazing. And I think it's a great example for, especially because you share the journey with her. You guys are documenting the journey and you guys are sharing it together. And the support that you've shown her, over the course of just her going through all of her pre-op phase and now post-op, has been amazing. And I'm truly impressed. And if you're not following Megan and Thomas, give them a follow. Follow the journey so far, because Thomas is actually a pretty funny guy and has a ton of dad jokes.
Yeah, so speaking of that, Thomas, and let's give everyone a little bit of the taste of some of the specific ways that you've supported your wife emotionally, and that thought process. Like what are you going through when you first initially found out that she wanted to get the surgery? What was that? What was go mode for you? What was your thought process?
I think the biggest thing, because she struggled before. We've done the crash diets, we've done all this stuff. And so when she said that she wanted to do this, then it was like, okay. So she started doing a lot more research than I did. But all I did was listen, be a sounding board for her, and just be supportive in anything that she wanted to do, whether it was that or not. And know that this is going to change my life too, because we're one, right? And so what she goes through is what I go through, and vice versa. And so I think mentally I just had to prepare for the lows, the lowest of the lows and the highest of the highs. And I didn't know what that was going to be. I've never been through major surgery. She's never been, I don't know anybody who's even had major surgery before. So there was a lot of anxiety along with it. But I think just being present for her in the moment that she was going through, no matter what it is more important than my advice or my take or my opinion. Even is just being there for her, to have someone with her. And so that's really all I just try to do. And she got on here and started following people that had it. And one thing, I had a bunch of questions, like what's the best thing that I can do? Do I bring her flowers? Like, no, they don't. That doesn't matter when you're going through gas pain or whatever, So I had a lot of questions on just supporting, and we couldn't find anything, because and what we were finding is, people were getting dropped off or whatever. And to me, I was like, well, I want to be better for her. And so I was like, mind if I kind of join you and maybe see if we can help other people that have the same questions that I do, and maybe throw a little laughter in the mix of it. So that's kind of what we strive to do, is throw my take in it and just allow people to see that from a spousal perspective that has never gone through anything like this, that honestly all you have to do is be available. Just be available, be there, listen, be a sounding board, and just be able to take their mind off of it, and because anxiety is huge right now, and especially in the middle of it, and and just being able to, one thing that we really practice, especially like day 2, day 3, when that remorse starts setting in of what did I do to my body and what did I, all this stuff. It's like, you can't even go down that path. What's done is done. You made the decision. Now we just have to really be positive, change your mindset, be positive. Okay, what can I do in this moment? Where am I physically? How do I physically feel? What can I do to make me physically feel better? And if nothing else happens, is there something seriously going wrong? And just being able to help her focus on that idea instead of going down that train of I made a horrible mistake or whatever the case was, or I'm gonna die even. I mean, there was those thoughts too, and just being able to help her go, okay, and on the other side of it, being a sober mind, because she's drugged up from surgery, so being there with the surgeon, with the nurses, with everybody, so that I know what's going on and what to look for, and being able to help her, so if she has questions, retaining that information and being able to say, I don't think this is serious, or I don't think this is going to hurt you, or yes, let's go, like this is a big deal. And being able to be that almost doctor in the room type situation of what do I do? Right. Change your mindset, and off we go. Right. And so I think, I don't know if that really answered your question. I'm kind of rambling.
No, those are all great points, and
that's stuff that we didn't
just
really
an awesome
find.
Job.
That's stuff that we didn't find. So I just wanted to document my perspective of her journey, so that other people can see how to be supportive if they're in the same boat that.
Right. All right, we'll get back to more of those points. Those are all great points. We want to jump over to Jillian and Dano over here. So you guys have a unique journey because you're both bariatric patients. And how did you both meet? Because I hear that you guys met off of TikTok, as that's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
We did. We met on a live. Actually, she jumped on mine. I had to teach her how to use her phone.
I didn't know how to do it. This is in October. And I used to look at this guy on live. I'm like, this is like actually in September. I'm like, am I talking to Canada right now? Because it was like all the Canadians before they started intermingling. This is going back like in the early days. Like I consider him not an OG, but I had mine done in 21. So I've been following since year 2020 and 21 particular people. So I jumped into the Canadian live and I was all perplexed. But I thought he was interesting. I'm like, oh, he's kind of cute. He looks like a lumberjack, but he's all right. But I didn't like him. But I never told Dan that. My mom ratted me out.
Yeah. No, your mom told me about the blanket because I had a blanket.
I said, I thought this guy was kind of cute, but he looked like a hillbilly. So my mom, when she met him for the first time, she's like, oh, is this the guy? And Dan looked at me like, wait a minute. I said, I liked you, but I didn't really know you. But Dan started stalking me in all of the lives. He would like pop up.
I did.
And then I'm like, ew. I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, no, she wouldn't answer my DMs.
I didn't answer his DMs for a while. Because I'm like, this guy from another country like DMing me. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's always like, I'm a king, I'm this, I'm that. And then he's just like, hi, I'm a Canadian. And
now, when you said, Jillian, you said that you got your surgery a year before Dano. Up exactly, damn near a year
Yeah.
before Dano. Dano, can you share with us in ways, because I could just imagine how long after you got your surgery, Dano, did you two get together?
Well, we started in October, so
Yeah,
March, April, May, June, July, August, September.
Okay.
7 months.
7 months.
So 7 months you guys got together. Can you share with us how? Because I know Jillian already had a head start on you, so I know the
No, no,
support was through the roof. Can you share with us how she supported you?
well, she was a friend. Because keep in mind, at that time when I did meet Jillian, my wife was dying, my previous wife.
Mm,
So Jillian was there helping me through it.
mm,
So we were just friends, nothing but friends.
right.
So nothing moved on till after.
But I feel like
Gotcha.
Dan and I supported each other where I was when I realized that, okay, this is like a nice person. I did accept his DM request. One night I got bananaed because we were talking about whipping peaks. And I guess they thought we were talking about something dirty and they bananaed me, but then I appealed it, but I digress. But I gave him my number. And I knew he was married, but I didn't know really what was going on because Dan doesn't really share a lot physically what's going on or in his life. So I was just kind of like, okay, I'll talk to this guy. But when we actually did meet in real life, which was in January, finally, it was actually on his birthday that he flew to America to come see me. As soon as he got off the plane, because we had logged in so many hours, and the way we supported each other is we would like do confession, like, oh, I ate this today or I ate that today. And I'd be like, that's okay. That's just a moment. It's fine. You can just move on from there. It's not the be all and end all. Things like that. So we support each other like in those sort of ways. If someone trips up, it's not a big deal. But once we got together, we just knew when we liked everything, all the same foods. But I feel like as bariatric people, we're kind of limited on the foods. Like, I don't know, it just worked out. Everything, we would play a game. Okay, you pick 2 things on the menu and I'll pick 2 things on the menu. And they were always the same. But like we knew that weekend that we were meant to be together. Like I know for sure this is my person. Like 1,000% I knew. Like I knew it. And he knew like day 2. Like he tried the clam chowder for the first time in his life and he was like, oh, this is like really good. And
New England clam chowder.
we went to Newport because hello Rhode Island, we're gonna go to Newport. He had the clam chowder and it was in that afternoon that he just knew that was it was over. But the way we support each other is like we shop together. I still overcook, but he's teaching me how to meal prep a little bit better.
Yeah, she cooks for a family, like a big family.
Well, I'm come from a family of 8. We're all eaters.
Well, you got a dog now, so.
Yeah.
Hey, Thomas, can you tell us how you may have made some adjustments of your own that would align with the adjustments that Megan had to make after her surgery?
Well, that's the cool part so I've been on my own kind of journey of my own losing weight and changing my whole lifestyle. And we've gone through this before, but she's always been my everything when it comes to food. So whether it was cooking a full-blown meal or measuring every gram of every ounce of everything, she has done that for me. And so before this surgery, she was doing that already. So she was measuring every ounce of everything. We would meal plan, we would prep, and I would have an exact amount of food that I would eat every day, and she would do that for me. She wasn't doing that for herself. And so after surgery, I think that pretext had been set of this is how you do that, so she kind of already had a way ahead
did it for myself too, but it never worked.
But yeah, it
So
was
I just
harder.
hadn't done it a long time for me, but
But she had that game plan already. Okay, this is how we do this, and so it has helped her now that she has to do that for herself, and so now we're doing it together. I've started doing it for myself because she's doing it for herself, and we do it together, and so she'll meal plan and I'll meal plan, and it really helps that we already had this planned out in the first place of, okay, we know what to do. We know what to do after surgery. This is how you're going to have to eat now. Now we just have to figure out how many times do you chew?
I was joking with Thomas. I was like, the reason everyone can see the weight loss in my face is because of my mad chewing skills now.
Yeah.
You work those jaw muscles.
And
Right.
and what, at what steps after surgery are you allowed to do certain things? She's, and me being at every appointment with her and part of everything, she's able to bounce ideas off of me and go, hey, do you think an almond is okay? Do you think, am I at the right time of drinking this much water? I haven't done this much water. What do you think? And so we bounce ideas off of each other, and vice versa for me. If, like last night, she was cooking a quesadilla, and I was like, oh no, that's not going to fit my macros. So she had to change it like mid-cook. And she was like, okay, here you go. And I was like, it's great. And so it's a twofold thing. Even though I haven't had the surgery, I'm still going through that same food eating process. And so we're able to do this together, and it's quite a journey. I mean, honestly, it's the same, just different amounts, So
Yes.
My daughter actually, by just living with us, well, my daughter's my daughter, but now that there's two bariatrics in the house, she actually is so good at preparing all her food just by living. I mean, in this situation, she's down like almost 30 pounds. So, I mean, it does take over the balance of the whole family. It's a whole family dynamic for sure.
Speaking of balance, Jillian and Dano, and I want Thomas and Megan to think of this question I'm going to ask too, because I know, because I'm experiencing it. Yeah. How do you cope with each other's anxiety and stress through this process?
We have something that we do.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Let them go.
you're good.
You go first.
Go ahead, Danny.
Okay. I think because we're going through the same thing, so we understand. So, I don't know.
Dana will call me. He'll be like, hey, babe, what's on your docket for today? How are you feeling today? I know that this such and such happened and blah, blah, blah. How are you feeling about it? How are you coping with it? And it might even be like, look, don't judge me, but I bought a grab bag thing of Fritos. There's still like a lot in the bag. And he'd be like, that's okay. Or he would be like, let's go ahead. He and I cook a lot. We cook a lot. I know you guys see, we're very competitive with our food. We always have bake-offs, cook-offs, and we post them. We love it. As a matter of fact, we did that when he was in Canada and I was here. We said, who could make the best angel food cake? But anyway, he's very attentive to everything. She's very in tune. We're very in tune with one another. It's very bizarre. It's almost like our couple over here. I mean, I feel like we just knew we were just destined to be together and support one another. So, I mean, there are things like we were in Las Vegas and like every single woman was like all about Dan. Dan. He gets more DMs on his TikToks than you can imagine. I'm not even kidding. I go
Dan the man.
and I'm like, Dan, who's this person? Like, block. There's so many. And, for me, I'm just like, I still see myself as that 330-pound woman. And I'm just like, but I mean, But Dan does the same thing with me, walking through Vegas or whatever, me looking the way I'm look. He's like, look, I don't like the way that guy is looking at you. I'm like, he's not looking at me, Dan. I'm pressed. I'm not that cute. Believe me. I'm like an old bag.
How do you guys give each other reassurance in those situations?
Well, he knows I need a lot of reassurance because I still see myself as that 330-pound woman. I don't think that I am cute at all.
No, I got body dysmorphia.
Dan does.
I think I'm fat. I still think I'm fat, and she's like, "You're crazy." And
I'll take a picture of him from an objective point of view, just like of his legs. I'm like, these are your legs. They're very muscly. Or like, I'll catch him, I'll take a picture of his chest. I'm like, this is your arm. Like, it's your arm, but not with his head, so he can see what he looks like. I'm the opposite. I feel like, not the opposite. I don't feel cute. So Dan knows that I need to be reassured all the time. Jillian, you're very beautiful. Jillian, I love the way you look. Or, you know, he's very supportive that way because I feel like you knew that from the beginning though with me.
oh, yeah.
So he's really good about that. And or even going live. Like he held my hand before we get on. He's like, whatever happens, happens. It's going to be fine, Jill.
That's
So
what's up.
Dan is always there for me. He's just very encouraging. And he knows I need a lot. And I do. I'm a very, because again, I don't see myself as the person that maybe other people may see me, if that makes sense.
It makes a whole lot of sense. What about you, Megan? What was that you said you guys do?
Oh, so I've been struggling with anxiety since surgery, like medical anxiety. And so, like, one of the things that I do is I use Thomas as my buffer. And I'll be like, okay, I'm feeling this way. Is this sane or not sane? Like, and so he'll be like, yeah, that's justifiable. Or he'll be like, no, go do something else and see if you still feel the same way. Like, he just
Oh,
knows
you've
me.
had quite the journey since surgery. So like you've had
Lots of
some stuff
complications.
going.
Yeah. I had my blood clot in my hand. It's still bothering me. My hand's still swollen and still purple and stuff sometimes. And now I have a small umbilical hernia and I also have gallstones. And we actually had an appointment on the phone today with my surgeon's nurse. And they're wanting me to wait another 2 weeks and see if anything gets better because they put me on some medication for ulcers to make sure it's not possibly that. And we'll check in 2 weeks unless something big happens between then. But if it's still bothering me in 2 weeks, then we're going to start talking, I think, about surgery for gallbladder. And I'm only 7 weeks post-op. So it's kind of, I'm like, okay.
You guys are really new into it.
Yeah.
Anything, you have any questions, I'm here. I feel like for me, my platform is to really inform other people out there. If you've been struggling with weight loss for decades, there's so many options out there now for us. And doctors don't have to like gatekeep stuff from us. We can take control.
Yeah. It's definitely been nerve-wracking with all the things that have been going on lately and stuff. And, you know, when stuff like that happens, that's when I feel like, oh, crap, what did I do? I gotta, like, refocus and center myself. And, I mean, I've lost over 20 inches and, you know, I weighed myself last week. So last week I was over 20 inches and I've lost, I weighed myself this morning and I'm down 45 pounds.
That's
Good
awesome.
for you.
But I'm
Things
pretty
are
sure
going
that's
good.
normal that we all feel regret. My first week, I'm like, oh my God, why did I do that?
And you did your surgery on your own. He didn't have any support at all.
I didn't even
Right.
tell my kids what I was doing.
Well, I mean, his wife was not, I mean, I don't know how to say it.
My late wife.
His late wife was just not coherent. He really did it on his own. And I feel like I wish I had a support system in the beginning. My support system was TikTok. I did it on my own. I was on my own for 16 years. So, I mean, to have somebody with you where that support is amazing.
No, TikTok was there for me a lot.
Yeah, but isn't that crazy? You guys are very lucky that you have one to go through this with because it's a lot.
Go ahead, Megan.
There's definitely a lot of things that Thomas isn't able to relate to. And so for that, I'm really grateful for TikTok. And he's really great about my boundaries too. Like he'll be like, here, just try a taste. And I'm like, no. I was like, I have to say no, because who knows, like with me binging before and stuff, I'm like, who knows if I try that, if I'm going to want more of it, and I try and find ways to have it. I was like, right now I need to say no. And if I give him 2 hard no's, and he's like, okay, and he stops. But it's hard sometimes when he doesn't know, but he does really good.
I'm just here that, speaking of anxiety, so that the morning of, we had to be at the surgeon's office at 5 a.m, and I lost it. I completely lost it. And
it hit Thomas.
I was like, you can still not do this. Like, I'll figure it out with you. Like, and I was trying to put my thoughts in her head in a unhealthy way, if that makes sense. So I was trying to get her to come to the conclusion on her own that she should follow what I want her to do, if that makes sense. So I completely lost it. I was like, I don't think you should do this. I don't want you to do this. This is a bad idea. So, I can't. And what it really boiled down to was this was going to change our life, good or bad, either way. And I
think you realized how much it was going to affect you in that moment too.
I was scared to lose her and do this on my own.
All the things I do for our family and stuff, because I am the stay-at-home wife and mom, and I homeschool our kids, and I balance the budget book, I clean the house, I do all the errands, I help market and run his business. Like, I do a lot. And so in that moment, he had shared before, like, all of that hit him. And I had been like, I was like, we're going.
She was good, man. Like, she was like, all right, we're going to do this. And I brought it down real fast. And then I was like, okay, you got 5 minutes to decide because we got to go. Well, how crappy was that? Like, thanks a lot, husband. But at the same time, I was like, you've already made this decision. We need to go. I'm scared. And this is what it boils down to. And I was able to point that out before we left, that I was scared to lose her and do life by myself. And so to circle back to the anxiety part is, it's not easy.
Anxiety going in that hospital. I was like crying, and I'm looking at Thomas, and I'm like, are we still doing this? Like the whole time until like they put me under. I kept on looking at him like, you're not changing your mind again, are you?
So you guys all seem to be very in tune with each other. So and this goes for both couples. You guys seem to be very in tune with each other. So we're gonna play a little game to like kind of roll us through pretty much.
Can I study?
No. We got to make sure.
I know you guys know what's going on. So we have you guys have your pens and pads and stuff, markers and pads.
It's kind of like the newlywed game, but you all might be too young to remember that. I don't know.
No, I remember it. We watched it all the time.
Okay. So this is how we're going to do it. Help me out, Tony. So we're going to ask the question to
the wives,
Jillian, and yes, the wives. We're going to ask the question to the wives. All right. Don't you dare look either, Dano.
I see you hiding over there, Thomas.
Yeah, put it down.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so real quick.
You guys, the wives are going to write down the answer after Rabb asks the question. Yes. And then before you guys reveal your answer, we're going to have Dano and Thomas answer. And then we're going to compare the answer afterwards.
Okay.
All right. So the first question is, who is more likely to suggest going for a walk or exercising together?
Bruh, I got that one in a bag.
Right.
All right. Who is more? Actually, let's just do this.
You want
Who
to
would
answer
you
it after
say?
each one?
Yeah, let's answer after this. And who is it?
All
Hey,
right.
I'll have to write down my own answers if we're doing
Yeah.
multiple choice here.
So are you both done,
Yeah.
Jillian and Megan?
Okay. All right. So
Okay.
Thomas and Dano, give
Yeah.
your Dano. You can give your answer first.
Okay. If it's going for a walk or exercise, I say it's me. If it's shopping, it's her.
That's right.
Let us see.
Dano.
All right. All
Nice.
right. All right.
Better be writing this.
All right, Thomas, go right ahead, buddy.
Totally me.
got?
Totally me. Yeah.
All right, Thomas.
Nice.
Thomas it is. Thomas it is. All right. Who is more diligent about tracking their protein intake?
Now or before? Before.
Now.
Dang it.
Who you got, Jillian? You got it?
I said me.
Oh, that's her.
And I, forgot to
You were
ask
supposed to
Dano
have Dano
first.
answer first.
No, but I would have said Jillian.
All right. All right.
All right, Thomas.
Did you eat enough? And oh yeah.
That's because I'm the at-home wife. I do all the food prep. I make his lunchbox. I unpack his lunchbox.
Oh, that's a good point.
I see what he eats, what he doesn't eat. That's what I do.
What about you, Thomas?
So we both track our protein very diligently. But if you narrow it down to who actually does the meal plan and make it happen, definitely her.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
I was like, can they see it?
I was getting ready to say, all right, here's a good one. Who is the
And
better
everyone
cook?
can guess in the comments down there. You guys throw your
Yeah.
answers out as well.
Yeah. Who's the better cook?
That's easy.
Is it Jillian or Dano or Megan and Thomas?
So it depends.
I'll say Jillian.
What you got, Jill?
A snack or is it a meal? Like if it's food,
I
like
mean,
a dinner, it's me. But if it's like a yummy treat, it's Dan, hands down.
well, what'd you put down?
I put Dan.
All right. That's fair,
Thomas?
though. That's fair.
Hands down, unless you want burnt, nasty garbage, you better eat her food. I am awful. I'll cook my food and she's like, "How is it?" I'm like, "Edible." That's about it. But she makes it and I'm over here like, "Oh yeah."
All right, Megan, what do you got? All right.
All right. I feel like these are super easy questions. Let me see.
Such as Food Meets Beard, as we've been watching.
If
Beard
you want
meats.
a brownie, if you want like something yummy, you want a midnight snack, this one's gonna come into the room with like a whole friggin' cake with a frosting that he just whipped up from like a protein powder. But if you want like a yummy meal, it's me. But anyway.
Yes, Christine,
going
it
to
is
Dan.
the Newlywed Show. No. Who is more likely to suggest attending a support group meeting together?
More likely to suggest or not to suggest?
To
To
suggest.
suggest.
Do the
I have to say my wife.
Me, Jillian.
Man,
What are you doing?
Well, instead of repeatedly writing my name and your name, I'll just hold a flashcard.
Oh, that's
All right, there you go.
That's why I married her. She's kind of smart.
Have moments.
Let's see. To suggest.
Oh, you're gonna read each other's mind?
I'm good at that, you know. I probably her, to be, because I'm socially awkward. Yeah.
All right.
You gotta
So-
make him harder.
I can't. But I will make it sweeter though. How's that sound? Why don't you all do me a favor real quick? Megan, we'll start with you, Megan. Can you tell me what you love most about Thomas?
No, she can't. Hold on, I'm gonna cry.
I love how funny he is, or how funny he thinks he is sometimes.
Truth.
And just how handy he is and supportive, and he's a good dad, and getting to see that. I didn't have my dad around when I was growing up, and so getting to see him be a good dad to them fills a special part in my heart. He's a really good man. Like, any old lady or like teenage girl at church is flocking him because they know he will fix their car. Like, and I'm not worried. I know you're after his mechanical skills, but you know, he's a good person, and you know, if he knows that they're struggling, he'll go out of his way to make it happen the cheapest way possible, or you know, he's a good man.
Good. What about you, Jillian? What's the thing you love the most about Dano?
I feel that I have never dated a man that could do as much as Dan can do. Like, he's renovating the kitchen. He just is so handy. I mean, I've never dated a guy. As a matter of fact, that's how we met on Live. I had a lot of stuff that needed work around the house, and Dan would one line and go, "Oh, I'll fix your light bulb," or "Oh, I'll fix your screen door. I'll fix your back door." Like, he was really sassy. And then he came down and he really did. We went to Home Depot and he did that whole honey-do list of stuff that needed to be done. My house has never looked so good. And he said, and don't expect me to get to know the neighbors. Well, now he's like besties with like the neighbors. They're all like, "Hey, Dan. Hey, Dan." I love the fact that he's so tuned into me that even like, you know, with being a bariatric patient, sometimes it's hard to go to the bathroom. He doesn't like that I take chemicals. He went out and researched a mushroom coffee for me. And he's like, "Honey, I bought you something." Like, it's always like, "Honey, I'm doing this for you," or "I really love you so much, I'm doing that for you." Things that I don't even realize that I'm talking about it, but like, he's so tuned into me that he's always there for me. And I feel really safe when I'm with Dan. I never felt that before with anyone. So he just makes me feel amazing, beautiful, cherished, and loved. I mean, I guess that's a lot. I can't pick one thing. Cherished, loved, beautiful, taken care of, safe.
That's what a woman's heart was made to feel. So good job.
And it sounds like selfless too.
Yes.
Rabb, I think they're making us look bad.
I was gonna say you need to stop it because I'm looking horrible over here.
This guy still hasn't asked me to do his Valentine.
Yeah, I did.
He didn't.
After the. I don't know.
All right, so
Valentine's Day, so he took me out of the blue. He texted me and he's like, "Babe, I want you to look really dressed because I know you love to dress. And I'm taking you out to a restaurant on the hill, which is an Italian area in Providence." So it was great. He took me to a wonderful restaurant.
Nice.
He does those things.
Of course he did.
He wants to take me out, wants me to get dressed. He loves to buy me things. I don't know. I got lucky. God was good to me.
What about you, Dano? How does Jillian stand out to you?
Oh, she's on top. Like, honestly, she does every.
Well, now that I'm 152 pounds.
Well, no, but I mean, she's up there. She's on the pedestal.
She's on the pedestal.
Right?
Keep it coming, Dano. Keep it coming.
Just keep rolling. Keep going.
No, but she's such a great person. Honestly, she always thinks of others. And sometimes I have to tell her, Jill, you're doing too much for other people. Like, I know she wants to do. She's got such a big heart. She wants to help everybody, and the amount of things she buys on Amazon sends to people, and I'm like,
Well, I hear somebody needs something, so I just take care of it. Because I don't want anyone to be without. It's hard enough living in the world that we live in now. You know what I'm saying? And I want to support my fellow peeps out there. And even with my family.
but yeah, she's always thinking of me. I've never had that as much. You know, the compliments, and I don't know. I know I've lost weight, but it's just the amount of compliments, and she said, "Okay, what do you say? Thank you," because I'm not used to it. Right?
Yeah.
It feels good though.
It is nice when your partner just calls you a few times a day. He'll just text me out of the blue, "I love you," or "I love you so much," but we do that for each other, like daily. It's like we're still school kids. Like, it's so bizarre to be going through this at my age, but
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I bet. Thomas,
Thomas,
what
what
about
do you
you?
have? Right.
Oh gosh. So, just a quick backstory. I used to work in the oil fields. I would get up at 4:30 in the morning. And the first night we spent together, she woke up at 3, made a full meatloaf. I'm talking handmade meatloaf. And made it for me for lunch and breakfast and whatever. And that was like the second week I knew her. I mean, just her heart is very thoughtful, and she has never stopped that. She takes very good care of me, and she's everything that I could ask for in a woman. And it's been a journey, you know. It's everything that we've done together. We didn't have kids till we were, what, 5-6 years married in.
No, it was like about 9 years together.
Yeah,
We wanted to travel.
together 9 years together, and so we did a lot of stuff together alone. And she's followed me everywhere. I've taken her. We had this conversation. I've taken her through some crap holes. You know, oil grows where no man goes, and we've been there. And she followed every step and supported me. And when you watch a movie and there is a good man, there's always a better woman behind him. And that's so true.
Damn.
I don't know if we can follow on that one.
I ain't never doing this again.
Yeah, I don't know. Thank God this is once a year.
All
Oh,
his
really?
little stuff out every single morning when he wakes up in the morning, when he's packing his lunch. I always make sure I have his favorite cup out and clean. I have his 2 little dishes. I just want to make sure that he's, as a bariatric patient, it has everything he needs in his. It's so silly in his little lunchbox, but it's important that his sugar levels are even. And I know when you guys see my videos, I'm always like, and I'm making this for Dan, or I made this dessert for Dan. But I do that for Dan because I just love him so much. I just want him to be his healthiest and his best. I feel like that's
what I think is hard to understand. You know, there's a lot of things, especially on the internet, that men want and all this stuff. Really, it's the support at home for us to be the best we can for the people out there, and having a woman to support you in that way is huge. And that's the best thing about a marriage that I can vouch for, is for me to be the best, strongest provider, I need someone that's going to tell me I can do it.
I love that. I love that Dan gave me the opportunity to be that woman where he's, yeah, totally. I like my role. I love my role now. I'm so at peace now. I was in such a rat race being a single parent for so many years that I feel like I'm finally who I was supposed to be.
Just to show you how Jillian is. So when I moved to the States from Canada, and I finally got my papers to get a job, I accepted a job, and she's like, "No, you're worth more. You go back and you tell them you want more." And I did. She got me more money because she believed in me.
Yeah.
Well, you have to believe in you.
And
Yeah.
it was great
Wow.
because now I feel better and more confidence, right? So it's like, no, I'm worth this, and that's what you're going to pay me.
That's, so true.
I filled out job applications for Thomas. We had been together like 3 years at that point.
Yeah.
And he was working for a mechanic shop, and they just weren't treating him good enough. And I was like, I know that you're worth more, and you shouldn't have to work that many hours to prove your worth. And so I just started filling out applications for him, and he got called for a job interview. And he's like, "Did you do this?"
I didn't even know about it.
Plant
got a
foreman
call.
for a factory, and that's it. You're a foreman and you're a supervisor.
Yeah.
I probably get 2 calls every day for work, and I don't even know where they got my resume.
Right. So I'll say it again. For a man to be the best man he can be, there's always a better woman behind him. And I said it loud. Hoorah.
I don't think I can say this enough that everyone on this panel and everyone down in the comments should be following both of these couples, if you're not already following them. Two amazing journeys for both of them. Daniel, what's your handle so we know that because I know you have a separate account as well.
Daniel RNY.
Yeah. And Jillian, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Brad.
Tony.
No, I think you already were going to say what I was going to say.
Yeah, I was probably. Jillian, I want you to share what you need to share, what I want you to share, what you can share. Could you please share? Who is it? What's the name of the
Bari Melts.
Yeah, the Bari Melts, and there's something else.
Oh yeah, so for Bari Melts, they carry a whole line of vitamins, and I've been using it since 21 because I tried a lot of different vitamins and they literally made me sick. And I wasn't consistent with my vitamins, and my doctor's like, you need to get consistent, right? So I started taking the Bari Melts because they like literally melt in your mouth, and I do everything, and my hair even came back and everything, right? Because you lose your hair as a woman, that's like devastating. But that's a whole nother conversation with VSG Bestie. But yeah, 20% off. So if you just use JLL20, you get 20% off your whole order of Bari Melts and free shipping. I also started, I'm with Mochi. It's a company called Join Mochi. It's a GLP-1. So sometimes you just need a little extra help, or if you have sugar intolerance, or you're my age and you've already passed menopause or PCOS, sometimes a GLP-1 combined with weight loss surgery is just the kick that you need. So with Join Mochi, I have a $40 off your first month. But I think it's a great program. It's a telehealth, so you get to speak to the person the way, just like alive. And they use your commercial insurance. They're fantastic. So there's a lot of women out there, believe me, and a lot of men that are taking a GLP-1 that could use some help with leveling out their sugar levels and the hormones within their body. Because obesity is a disease. It's a disease.
That's right.
That's
So
it.
again, Tony and I want to thank both couples for joining us today. Make sure you all follow Jillian and Dano and Mountain Mama Bypass, Thomas and Megan. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Also, we cannot forget to invite you all to join Talk Bari to Me on Sunday nights, every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific. And when you have a moment, please follow the hashtag Blackberry Talk to
Oh,
support
don't forget, we
our.
have something going on tomorrow night too. We
What do you
got
have?
Barry Sisters.
Yeah, we got
Barry
Barry
Sisters,
Sisters
and we
tomorrow
got
night
bariatric warrior Steph. She also has hers as well.
on Wednesday, and then on the
Yeah.
26th, on Monday, the 26th of this month, we have what is it? What is Anna and them again?
Barry Unfiltered.
Very Unfiltered. That's right. Very Unfiltered starting Monday nights on the 26th of this month, February 26th. Yes, thank you, Anna. Very Unfiltered. It's in the comments. It's starting
Oh,
on the
and
26th.
VSG Bestie is on with the Barry Sisters tomorrow.
That'll
Yeah.
be awesome. Tune
Oh,
in for
you know what?
sure.
One more thing, Dan.
Mm.
I bought this thing. If you have a lot of protein powders, it's a dispenser, so you can get rid of those ugly tubs. And I linked it in my link tree.
Check it out, y'all.
I'm telling you, for all of you people who have a lot of protein powder, it's being delivered tomorrow, and I'm going to do a TikTok, but I'm letting you guys know now. It's like only $29 on Amazon.
It's only 29.
You can get
Oh,
6 protein powders in there.
that's huge. Who's got to hang that up?
No,
Hey,
it's just it'll fit right in the shelf. Get rid of all those barrels. You just see that
nice.
TikTok of all the protein powders we have? Guess what? I'm fixing it.
Gown. Tune in next week, you all. Tony and I have a special one. It's going to be a night of Barry Nation with Jason Smith. Jason Smith is going to join us next week, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific. Thanks again to our guests. Thanks for the comments, for all the likes, the love, and the follows. Happy Valentine's Day. We'll catch y'all next week. Peace, love, and soul.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Thank you for being on. Have a good night, guys.